In this video, we are going to see how we can deal with the purchase of any kind of services from a particular vendor. As you can see here, on 12th of January, it says purchase of dyeing services from Anderson Dyeing on cash. We have dealt with a similar transaction in the earlier one, which is dyeing services from Shelby Dyeing on credit, but this is our regular vendor. From Anderson Dyeing, let's say we have a bigger order to fulfill. So that's why we took the dyeing services from other dyeing units as well, but that's on cash. Maybe from this vendor, we won't be purchasing any services in future. So what we can do here is we create a generic vendor named cash vendor. In here, we put all the purchase of services that we buy only one time. So what we can do is go to vendors and purchases section, click on enter bills and new bill. We are purchasing the dyeing services, but against cash vendor. Click on new. Let's say it is only one-time vendor. So it's your choice even if you want to create it, that's not a problem. But I just prefer to put all of these in cash vendor, or even if you want to describe it as cash vendor for dyeing services, because this is our regular services that we take from the vendors. Expenses, we will put it in the cost of sales for services that I have created, 5350 as cost of sales. All set. Click on save and close out of here. Just remember to change the date before even starting the transaction. So 12th of January, due date is automatically set. Mention the relevant invoice number. In this case, I'm just taking an example of it. And we are purchasing the dyeing services. I have created a service item for that. So click on this one, service item. Mention any quantity like 1. Make sure the DL account is selected correctly, which should be cost of sales for services. Just choose cash vendor at the top and the amount is 5,000. Let's mention 5,000 here. All set. If you want to check the journal entry effect before even saving the transaction, we can do that as well. From the top, we click on the journal. Here we see the dyeing services is debit as a cost of sales and accounts payable is credit. Now you might be thinking that we are purchasing by cash and not the account payable. So that's why we created a cash vendor. As soon as we create this, click on save and immediately we go to payables, payable against that, choose that cash vendor, and then we put the same date, because at the same date when we created the invoice, we are paying for it as well. And this is the due amount. Click on pay because we are paying in full. So just check that. And we are paying by cash, right? So just choose cash from this area and we can check the journal entry. Payable is debit and now we are clearing it by cash. So in short, we can use this method to pay by cash. Description, we can copy this one, paste right here, and we can paste it in the memo here. Click on save. So that's one way of doing things. What we could also do is click on new check, and from here, just choose the vendor ID, just choose the cost of goods sold for services. And if we put a sample amount here, for example, 1,000, and choose the date of 13th of January, we can check the journal entry effect of it. So here you can see 5350 as cost of sales and credit is cash directly. So whatever is preferable for you, I think this one is more easier to deal with. So you can continue with this method also. So I've shown you both of the methods. So this is how you deal with the payment for services in cash. Just try it by yourself and I will see you in the next one.